Hey, thanks for joining us, everyone. We're creeping closer and closer to the KWS Series season opener. Of course, Antioch Speedway, April 20th, next Saturday night already. Definitely looking forward to that. But tonight's show is going to be about the new Reno Tahoe Fernley Speedway. We recently had the chance to sit down with the new promoter of the track, Dan Simpson, who of course is also the managing director of the King of the West Sprint Car Series. And Dan has a lot of great ideas and a lot of great things on tap for the RTF Speedway. We're going to hear those firsthand tonight. Had the chance to sit down with Dan a couple weeks back and kind of get his thoughts on how the process has already been. Of course, it's taken a lot of work to rejuvenate the facility, new paint. The track has been just a total rehaul. A lot of rocks have been taken out of the track. They've done a lot of great work. And last Saturday, we actually had a play day up there with a lot of cars checking out the new revitalized surface. Had a lot of great reviews. I know we had about a dozen of the KWS Lights cars out there, and of course the KWS Lights will be debuting this Saturday at the RTF Speedway along with the debut of the Fernley 95A Series on the new surface. If you want to invite all the fans to come on up this Saturday night, adult tickets just $12, kids 5 and under free, so it's going to be a lot of fun up there. And it's going to be exciting to debut the KWS Lights. I know the fans up there have been hungry for wing sprint car racing. We're going to be giving them a heavy dose this year with the KWS Lights on tap. 10 races at Fernley, along with the KWS 410s at Fernley, also racing 10 times. So we're definitely excited about that. And without further ado, let's get into that interview with Dan Simpson, hear about all the great things on tap at the Reno Tahoe Fernley Speedway. An interview tonight with the managing director of the King of the West Sprint Car Series, Dan Simpson, also the new promoter of the Reno Tahoe Fernley Speedway. Of course, Dan Simpson, we've been hoping to get you behind the camera here for about 4 or 5 weeks. We finally got the opportunity to catch up with you, and we definitely want to thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule.
You are a busy man, but we've been seeing newspaper articles, and we've been up there seeing the work that's being done. There's a ton of work and a ton of equipment you've got up there at the racetrack now. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Probably closer to 1 million tons. It's, we could go on all day about it. I think the staff up there, Vuki Wilson and Matt Rantham, and their staff, Joe, and a huge quantity of volunteers. We have anywhere from 6 to 15 volunteers per day working on that racetrack. The racers last year ran it all on their own without my interference. And they did a really good job. I mean, their season, I went up and watched them a couple times. I think you guys were up there and saw them. Considering that they ran that thing with virtually no budget. They got through the season. They had great races. They developed some new fans. They did a good job. So now I'm kind of behind the 8 ball. I'm coming in the expert from Dover, so to speak, and I'm really an expert on nothing when it comes to promoting racetracks. But I fooled some of the people, and they think that I know it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put we've put a lot of hard work in at this point. And the dirt track, since that's primarily what we're talking about, remember we have a road course, a drag strip, an off-road track, 3 motocross tracks, the dirt oval. At one point there were sand drags there, and we're entertaining bringing sand drags back at some point. So it's truly a motor sports facility. It's not just an oval track. Right now, all the concentration, of course, is on our 3rd mile plus dirt oval track that I think is going to produce some phenomenal racing. And I think you guys saw a glimpse of it when you were up there a couple of weeks ago, but now it's wider, it's longer, it's got 13 degrees of banking in the turns that do this awesome transition onto a 5-degree banked straightaway.
I've seen some photos then. Looks pretty impressive.
It blows every time I drive by it, which is 100 times a day. I just look at it and go, wow! The guys are just doing an amazing job. And I truly mean the guys, because I walk out there and say, gee, where'd you come up with that idea? And they go, oh, we were just driving the scraper, and so we thought we'd do that. And I go, oh man, that's really cool.
It's great when you have racers building their racetrack, so they know what to do. Put in some of their ideas.
Every single guy on that equipment is a racer, and they've raced, they've crewed, they've been officials, they've been around racing all their life. And then I have to back up 2 steps and say, hey, some of these guys are 18, 19, 17-year-old kids, but they're smart, hard-working. Boy, they work hard. And what they've accomplished in, literally 2 months is just amazing.
I think we also talked off camera, you're entertaining TT motorcycle racing, flat track racing, putting a little racetrack in the middle for the outlaw carts.
Right.
It's truly a multifaceted complex.
Yeah, the dirt track will, obviously we're going to have pro flat track bikes that will run the whole track, and so we're doing 2 flat tracks. They're going to run on the same track that the 410s will run on, and then they'll turn around, and during a couple of the races, like Tommy Hunt, if you watch this, I got news for you. I'm not going to call you and tell you this. This is a sneak. You got to see this on KWS Tonight. When you run with the non-wing cars, we're going to run flat track bikes with you also. It'll be the first time ever, I think, anywhere.
Yeah, I've never seen it before.
and let me tell you, it is going to be exciting. Tommy, you're going to love it. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. I hope you're going to love it.
Of course, Tommy Hunt, the director of USAC classic sprint cars, and they're going to be up there in August. That's going to be
a fun deal. Yeah, we're looking forward to the non-wing cars coming up for
It's going to be
with the
great.
new track. It's going to be awesome.
410 non-wing cars on that track. It's just going to be a hoot.
Well, hey everyone, Gary Thomas coming at you from the pit area here at the new Stockton 99 Dirt Track, the first ever event here at Stockton 99 Dirt Track with our guest, Mr. Brent Kading. And Brent, tonight we want to talk about our contingency program that we partnered with last year on you guys. I know you guys have been doing it for quite a while with Golden State now, but last season we had a very successful program, and we're looking for more this year.
Yeah, we're really excited to have all the manufacturers back that helped us out last year. And we've added a few, and it's great to see all those people support the racers that support their companies. So all the racers did a great job displaying all the decals and everything. So yeah, it's going to be a great season.
Let's talk about some of the banquet giveaways we had last year. I mean, those are pretty impressive what you guys put together. We had them, of course, right up there on the front of the stage at the Jackson Rancheria. I mean, we had wings, we had a seat, we had rod ends and SCI parts and everything. But you guys did a great job last year, and it definitely is a testament to all the great companies that you work with.
It really is. Brian and BF at the shop do a great job, and as everyone knows, BF's here week in and week out. He's at all the races. He's out there working right now. I wouldn't be in here talking to you if I had a choice. I think the people out there know I wouldn't be in here. But anyways, BF's done a great job. I'm going to let everybody know that again if they don't already know that. He supports everybody real well and does us a great job. So a lot of thanks goes to him and his hard work and effort during the winter, on and off track side. He does us a good job. And like you said, the banquet was incredible, really. All the people that got behind Kading Performance and brought in a bunch of manufacturers. It was great for everybody. We're looking forward to do that again this year.
Hey, let's also talk about SCI Racing products. I know some of your guys are trying to get that into the mix of things, and they were, of course, a supporter last season and the banquet as well. But so, can you tell us a little bit about SCI Racing products and what that entails?
Well, it's just a small product line that we started a few years ago, when we couldn't get the products that we felt we needed. And it was a product that Brian and myself first started up, and now him and Bud have taken it, from where it once was 3 or 4 products to maybe 60 or 70 products now. So yeah, you're going to see it out there quite a bit. It's nationwide. We got a lot of stuff down in Australia. Got some great distributors down there, and the Canes run it on their race cars, and some of the TSR cars out on the Outlaw Tour. We got some all-star guys. So it's been a great product for us, and we're really proud of it.
Well, hey, once again, we definitely want to thank you guys for the support the last couple of years. I know you're not just with Kading Performance, but the advice that you give us. I know you're always a phone call away. If it's good or bad, you're right there for us, and we definitely appreciate all you guys at Kading Performance for all the support.
You've really done a lot of renovation in the pit area as well. It's bigger, it's laid out a little smarter, I think.
It's huge. We have found a couple things that we weren't, we gravelled the pit area with the nicest gravel you've ever seen, and then I woke up at midnight a couple nights ago going, geez, the problem with the racetrack is that we have gravel pits, and so the guys get gravel on their tires.
Track, yeah.
Guess where the gravel goes, folks? So that woke me up at midnight. At 2 o'clock, I was out at Fernley, an hour from my house, driving around in the pits going, oh man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
How do we fix this, huh?
Well, we figured it out. By 6 o'clock in the morning, we had the grader out there and we started just skimming off the gravel wherever the cars are going to go. And then we're getting a quote for pavement on the push lane. And what we're going to do on the push lane is put in some little serrated pieces so that when the guys
clean the tires off.
it'll
Yeah,
clean the
that'd be cool.
tires off. And then we're going to beg everybody to knock the gravel off their tires.
And don't bring it on our track.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the things I have to compliment you on. And I think, Gary, you've received emails. We've seen it on the Facebook and Twitter accounts, how people are thanking you for your due diligence on taking the rocks and the gravel out of the racetrack for not only the safety part, but it's also going to make a better racing surface.
It's all going through a shaker screener down to less than 1/4 of an inch. So we lose some of our clay in that process because the clay balls up into little balls, but we kind of figured it was worth the loss.
Right,
to make it right. But the material that we've screened, I've taken it into the lab, I've played with it, dried it. It's awesome. I mean, it's really good stuff. And what we're doing is the old stuff is going down as the first foot all the way around the track, and then we're bringing in new virgin clay from down by Silver Springs in a deposit that's got clay that's just, it's the kind of clay you want to model things out of. It's really nice. We're going to bring that in, overlay that on the old stuff, go back around, rip it all up, rototill it, rototine it, and then pack it in so it'll be a blend of the old clay and the new clay.
And the new stuff.
Wow.
It's going to be cool.
That's an aggressive improvement, I guess, on that facility, along with all the other things you're doing. I know you're working on the seating, you're working on even on the entrance and how to get into the pits, the pit gates, the spectator gate. It seems like you've renovated everything.
Yep, it's all changing. We have a complete new vendor area for vendors to come in. There's a new bandstand going in. There'll eventually be 2. By the time KWS gets there on May 17th, we'll have the first bandstand all in and running. New sound system engineered by sound techs that are just amazing. Gosh, what a lesson it's been. I mean, it's just, learning all of this. Plus, I came to circle track out of road racing and I really didn't know a whole bunch about it. I did a little bit in the late 60s, but it hadn't been a long time. And now I'm working with some really smart people that run pro stocks and modifieds, and the new B Sport modified that's coming out now from IMCA. I'm learning about IMCA. I'm learning about everything from mini mods to outlaw go-karts. And I'm excited about all of them. It's good.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Good stuff.
Something George and I have always talked about when we go up to Reno is the community support that we see up there. I mean, these people really are race fans, and it doesn't matter what business you go to in Reno or Sparks or Fernley, it seems like they love racing and are getting behind this stuff. So the community support seems like it's pretty phenomenal up there.
It is phenomenal, and along with that, and that kind of brings to mind when Christopher, this Make-A-Wish child, was a young man who really just sparked a lot of people in Reno. What a neat kid. I mean, he just the quick mind, really sharp. The thing that impressed Christopher when he was in Las Vegas the most was Kyle Larson. After meeting him at the races, the next day when they were leaving, they were driving out in heavy traffic. Kyle ran down through the traffic and knocked on the window and said goodbye to him. And Christopher just thought that was unbelievable. So Kyle, if you get to see this, thank you very much. You did a great job. Really good job. So.
Welcome back, everyone, to King of the West Tonight. You heard from Dan Simpson, the promoter at the Reno Tahoe Fernley Speedway, also the managing director of the King of the West Sprint Car Series, some of the great things on tap at the RTF Speedway. We're going to get into more of those later on in the show. You also heard from Brent Kading of Kading Performance, talking about the contingency program that we partnered with the last couple years with the King of the West Series and Kading Performance. They did a lot of great work for us. Brent, Brian Madley, Bill Full, and the whole gang over there are just great to work with. Looking forward to working with many of the same companies this season. Now, we also want to congratulate Shane Golobic on his big World of Outlaws win last week in Antioch. Definitely very happy for the whole Golobic family. Parents John and Tammy are just great people, and you'd love to see great people have great success. And we want to give congratulations to Shane Golobic. Let's get into the second part of our interview with Dan Simpson.
Talking to the teams, talking to all of us, the officials, the teams, all of us, we're excited about 5 weekends in Fernley. And you have stepped up in a big way to make this a little more than a special 5 weekends.
Kind of a happening.
Happening. Each one of those is going to be happening.
There are. Well, there's going to be some pretty cool events there. And not only cool KWS events, but a lot of other things. There's going to be some exciting other things going on. We've got over 120 events this year. So, and it looks like probably in 2014 we'll have some, and this is on the track, folks, not just the sprint cars, but we'll have close to 200 events in 2014 the way it looks now.
Wow.
So.
I know we were talking off camera again. You've got a film crew coming up to do commercials at the road course. There's a lot of options that people can take advantage of up at the facility.
Yep, it's pretty exciting. You know, Rod Hall and I, the famous off-road racer, he and I are putting together a safety school for the oil and mining and other industries for four-wheel driving and adverse conditions. So yeah, lots of stuff.
It's going to be good. You know, another thing we talk about is some of those feeder programs. You mentioned the Outlaw Carts, but another class we have going this year is the KWS Lights, and I know we're all excited about that, and there seems to be a lot of positive feedback for that series.
There is, and I just came from a meeting up at the racetrack with Chevy talking about, you know, some future things down the road for the KWS Lights folks that could be, I won't talk technically about it right now, but we've gotten lots of cooperation from Chevrolet, and it's really looking good for the Lights class. I think it's going to be a great way to reinstate spec sprint racing to kind of what it was envisioned to be 20 years ago. And hopefully we can now make some changes, make some modifications, and have a class, an introductory class that's very sophisticated sprint car racing, wing down, get with it racing that will be economically affordable.
That's the key word, I think, is the economy. They're supposed to be economy sprints, you know, not supposed to, the motor costs have gotten out of hand, so that's kind of a way to have people have some fun.
And, you know, we're trying to make it where it's an affordable racing series, you know.
Right, definitely.
I know you've made some connections with an LED lighting company.
Right, the lighting.
And they're actually trying some new lighting out at the racetrack here coming up pretty shortly, I believe.
Obviously, LED is such a huge advance in lighting, and we're going to be tickled to be one of the first tracks to be truly lit up with LED. Even our portable light towers, we're going to have LEDs on, which means we can run almost 5 times the light off of one tower, you know, so with the same amp draw. So,
what's been your biggest surprise in this whole endeavor? You knew it was going to be a big endeavor. What was your biggest surprise?
Biggest surprise. I don't
Good or bad?
I probably haven't had it yet. It probably hasn't hit me yet. I think the biggest thing is that, you know, I've sat around and listened to Dennis and John and some of the other promoters tell me about how much work goes into pulling this thing together, and I'm just beginning to see what they really do go through from a physical standpoint. You know, it's no wonder that Monday through Thursday they're a little bit exhausted because handling food and personnel and security and moving dirt, prepping tracks, keeping equipment running, geez, it's a big deal. It's truly a big deal. We're fortunate in Nevada that we've got huge enthusiasm and that the volunteers that we've got really help out. I don't think we wouldn't have been able to open on time if it hadn't been for the volunteers up there. So, you know, that's great. But the biggest surprise, I think, is just the volume of work that has to be done. You know, when you drive into a track and you look at it, you see it through your eyes of being just something you want to look at.
Right.
But when you get there at 6 o'clock in the morning and the wind is blowing the paper around and somebody's got to go pick it up, you know, that's a real challenge.
Right.
When you make attempts to make changes in a track, I think, and John Soares has lectured me pretty good on this, so it's been helpful to have him, and I think just realizing, when you finally realize how much dirt is out there and how much of it you got to work with and clean, and you know, we're a long way from being
every week, not just now. Once you get to the racing season, every week you have to work with this dirt.
Hey everyone, the 23rd annual Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial Race is coming up at Silver Dollar Speedway on Saturday, May 4th. And if you're interested in sponsoring a lap, they are $100 per lap, with the leader getting $50, second place getting $30, and third place getting $20. Now, every bit of your money goes back to the racers, so if you're interested in purchasing a lap, please contact Dave and Diane DeRica at 916-988-5958 or email them at derica1414@sbcglobal.net. Once again, the 23rd annual Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial, Saturday night, May 4th at Silver Dollar Speedway, King of the West Series, one time only at Chico.
I know in our involvement, when we're up there and when we're talking to you, the involvement not only by the city of Fernley, Sparks, Reno, Nevada, Northern Nevada. Talk a little bit about the Motor Madness program I know you're involved with now. I mean, Nevada has really become a motorsports capital.
Oh, it is, and it's going to be. And you know, tourism in the Northern Nevada region is critically important because obviously part of what the region lives on is heads and beds, you know.
Right.
And Chris Baum, who is the president of the Reno Tahoe Tourism Group, came up with this idea, and he'd apparently done it when he was in Detroit for a while. And so he called us all together, all the racers, you know, we all came together, and he said, I want to form Motor Madness. And I went, wow, that's kind of a cool name, and it is when you think about it.
Right.
So, you know, I think that, Motor Madness is just part of what goes on. I swear to God, every other garage in Reno has got some form of a hot rod, motorcycle, you know. These people are outdoor people,
Right.
and they like anything with competition.
Right.
You know, if it's running, it's bicycles, it's, you know, ski racing, horses, you know, whatever it is.
Anything to get the adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, that whole area is just so fired up on this kind of competition that the whole community gets behind each one of these events, you know.
When you're doing a half-hour radio show every week
Yep.
about motorsports in Northern Nevada.
Yep, and it's so easy, let me tell you.
We heard about that. We do it every week, too. We know how easy it is.
It's just plug and play, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I only have to come up with 26 minutes of intelligent statements. Let me tell you, that is tough.
There's a lot going on up in Nevada, and I know you can handle that. And again, we appreciate your time. You know, I know there's a lot of people up in Nevada that we need to thank for getting us fired off up there at Fernley.
I think getting back to the Silver State, Golden State thing is just going to be cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. We've got lots of older racers and now some younger racers that want to come out. I've got lots of folks from California that want to come over and spend time. You know, John Esquaga's Nugget is going to be hosting parties after the races. You know, Grand Sierra is doing the same thing. You know, we've got such good support from all those businesses. I think the racers are going to be amazed to show up and be welcomed. You know, what we've got going on here in California is going to be magnified in Nevada. We've got room to spread out. We have, you know, we just have so many liberties up there that we may not get everywhere else. It's just a real positive. So.
Right. We would encourage the fans, if you want to keep up what's going on in Nevada, we're going to have a segment every week on KWS Tonight, but you can also get on the internet, check out Dan every week.
Right, we'll have that up on our website and everything, so everybody can go check it out.
All right.
And we've got to remember, everyone, to mark your calendars, May 17 and 18 for the first King of the West Series event at the RTF Speedway. I'll be there, George will be there, Dan will certainly be there, and we'll hope you're there too. Welcome back, everyone. There you have it, an interview with Dan Simpson, the promoter of the Reno Tahoe Fernley Speedway. The King of the West 410s are going to be in action there on 10 times, 5 total weekends, all 2-day shows, something we're really excited about. I know the fans have asked for 2-day shows the last number of years. We're going to give that to you at the Reno Tahoe Fernley Speedway. As you heard from Dan, there's a lot of great things in the works over at RTF Speedway. A lot of money on the line this year. Of course, all of our 410 events, they're paying $3,500 to win, $1,000 to start the main event. Something that we've never seen out here on the West Coast, and we definitely hope all the teams are looking forward to that. I know we've had a lot of great interest. The fans are going to be coming over. We have hotel packages, room packages. Of course, you can find all the information on our weekends in Nevada on kwsprints.com, right there on the homepage. We have information about hotel packages for teams, fans, tow money for teams, and of course, members in good standings are the ones that are going to benefit from a lot of that stuff. But the $1,000 to start is for any driver that wants to come up and check it out. So definitely come on over the hill. We'll have some fun at RTF Speedway this year. As I said at the start of the show, the King of the West 410 season opener will be coming up next Saturday, April 20th. Now, next week on the show, prior to that, we're going to have an interview with Kyle Hurst, one of our title contenders for the upcoming season. Kyle has one of the best opportunities of his career ahead of him driving for Roth Enterprises. And before we leave tonight, we of course want to mention once again this Saturday, April 13th, the season opener at RTF Speedway. We're going to have the Fernley 95A Racing Series headlined by the IMCA Modifieds. We have Dwarf Cars, Pro Stocks, everything in between, and of course the grand debut of the KWS Lights. So everyone, adults $12 again, 5 and under free. Come on up to the Fernley Speedway, RTF Speedway in Fernley. And of course, for all the latest news and updates on the King of the West Sprint Car Series, you can log on to kwssprints.com. It has the links to our YouTube page, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course you can call us at our office, 707-374-2222. We're looking forward to this Saturday night, the season debut of the KWS Lights and the season opener at Reno Tahoe Fernley Speedway. The weather's been great. We hope you get out and support your local racetrack. We'll see you next week on King of the West Tonight.
Thank you.